Mr. Tim Wallace has served as the CEO of iPipeline for 10 years and is currently a strategic advisor to the company. Thank you for your perspective, Mr. Wallace. I'm going to ask you a couple of rapid-fire questions. What words come to mind when you think of the word extrovert?
Someone who is outgoing, charismatic, aggressive, strong, probably a little bullheaded in some ways, but somebody that's really, not afraid of confrontation, not afraid of being in an environment where they're uncomfortable and walking up to people and talking to them. So somebody that's pretty comfortable with their personality and their ability to communicate, spontaneously.
And how about introvert?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. To me, introverts are typically people that just don't express themselves very well. In many cases, they may be the smartest person in the room, but from a social, I guess, interaction standpoint, they're not as comfortable in that skin as extroverts are. But that doesn't mean they're not quality people with great ideas and can contribute a lot to the team. So it's just, I think it's more how they communicate internally versus externally.
Thank you. And are you yourself an introvert, extrovert, or ambivert?
It's funny. I consider myself both an extrovert and an introvert. From an overall business standpoint, whenever I have to interact with people, from a sales, marketing, vision, direction standpoint, I can be extremely aggressive. In many cases, when I, have my management meetings and I'm meeting with employees or team members, I really like to take a introvert perspective and sit back and listen, not say a lot, and try to digest what these people are trying to communicate to me. So I try to practice both. I think by nature I'm more of an extrovert, but I've taught myself to be more of an introvert when it's necessary so that I can let other people speak their minds, have their opinions expressed, demonstrate what kind of creative juices they have, etc. So they both serve me very well, but by nature, I would say I'm an extrovert.
Thank you.
Welcome.
You've been known to be willing to listen to your team and transform your business. How critical is diversity of thought in profitability?
I think it's extremely, extremely important. I mean, the reality is nobody knows everything. We all have issues, as I like to say. We all have blind spots. And I really believe as a top executive, one of the best skills that you can put in place is listening skills. You're not always going to be right. You're not always going to be wrong, but at the same point in time, you want to process as much information as you possibly can. You want to get, as many ideas, as many opinions, as many thought processes into a major decision as you possibly can. And you can't do that unless you take an introvert perspective and let other people share their, ideas, their thoughts, their opinions, their ability to take risks, not take risk. So it's really important that the bigger decisions to make, the more people that you get involved, because you're not only enrolling them in the process, you're enrolling them in the ultimate outcome of the decision that you finally do make. Because when that decision's made, you want everybody on the boat rowing in the same direction. And by enrolling them, that will help accomplish that.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace. And thank you for your time and perspective for all of this.
Oh, you're quite welcome. It's been a pleasure.